Texas gave up top prospect Luis Angel Acuna, the brother of Ronald Acuna Jr., in the deal, which the Mets paid down a good portion of Scherzer's salary. But with Scherzer now struggling to produce as well as stay healthy, the deal is looking like a mistake on the Rangers' part. And this is the last thing Texas needs right now, especially when they're trying to salvage the 2024 season. Welcome, Texas Ranger fans, to the Talkin' Texas Rangers show. I'm your host, Larry Lease, and tonight we're diving into the latest headlines from around Globe Life Field, including some of the biggest trade deadline news from the Texas Rangers. But before we do that, give us a thumbs up if you like our video, hit that subscribe button down below, and hit the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And as always, leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the topics we cover. And of course, let us know if we missed anything. And with that, let's dive into today's first topic. Rangers make the first trade deadline deal and have acquired a catcher in the midst of a career year. The Texas Rangers have quite a bit to address at this year's trade deadline if they plan to defend their 2023 World Series title successfully. But the catching position has been a particular burden for them this season. Jonah Heim has taken a step back with his .234 average and .627 OPS in 90 games. Last year, Texas had the luxury of plugging in Mitch Garver when they needed to, but he departed for Seattle. Apologies for butchering his name, but Andrew Kneisner has filled that role, but the experiment has been rather unsuccessful. That's why the Rangers went out and got another reliable backstop in Carson Kelly via a trade with the Detroit Tigers last Sunday. Perhaps we can safely say the Rangers are buying to keep their 2024 hopes alive. Fans might have thought otherwise because the sweep of the White Sox was followed by Texas getting swept by the Blue Jays, but the Rangers remain just 4.5 games out of the AL West and 6 games out of a wildcard spot. The Rangers sent 2 minor leaguers to Detroit in the deal, catcher Liam Hicks and right-hander pitcher Tyler Owens. Neither are in the Rangers' top 30 per MLB pipeline, so it appears it was a low-leverage upgrade for Texas. There's yet to be a corresponding move announced, but we can assume Kisner will be designated for assignment in short order. Kelly offers greater upside on both sides of the ball. Across 59 games in 2024, Kelly is hitting .242 with a .720 OPS and .101 OPS plus. He's also logged a .5 D-WAR behind the plate and ranks in the top percentile for blocks above average, caught stealing above average, and fielding run value. The trade deadline picture would have been much more clear had the Rangers not gotten swept, but Kelly's in a contract year, so we can safely assume Chris Young and the front office are looking for players who can help out right now. And the Texas Rangers have traded a starter to the Royals as they prepare for returning pitchers. The Texas Rangers landed catcher Carson Kelly in a trade, but Chris Young and the front office aren't done. On Monday morning, the Rangers pulled off a trade that they believe will help him in both the short and long term. The Rangers sent starter Michael Lorenzen to the Kansas City Royals in exchange for minor league reliever Walter Pennington. The left-hander had been a AAA Omaha for the Royals and will join the Rangers' AAA affiliate in Round Rock. While it may seem odd for Texas to deal Lorenzen, the right-hander was scheduled to be a free agent this winter, and the Rangers are banking on the return of a number of their injured starters in the coming weeks. Tyler Mull is expected to be back any day now and has rehab start scheduled at AAA later this week. Jacob deGrom is inching closer as well after undergoing Tommy John surgery for a second time. There's also Cody Bradford, who was Texas's best starting pitcher before going down earlier this season. Pennington has appeared in 37 games in the minor leagues this season with an impressive .226 ERA and just under 6 innings of work. Though not among the top prospects in Kansas City's farm system, Pennington has 79 punchouts on the season and a relatively modest 8.3% walk rate. Pennington could be an option to join the Major League roster later this season after making his big league debut for the Royals this year. Pennington made just one appearance out of the Kansas City bullpen, but recorded an out against both batters he faced, including his first Major League strikeout. The Rangers are currently on the outside looking in of the AL wildcard picture and have lost 3 straight games, but continued struggles from the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners have the Rangers within striking distance of the AL West. Everyone saw the run that Texas made last season, and with Maul and DeGrom on the way back, Ranger fans are hoping for more of the same, despite parting with Lorenzen at the MLB trade deadline. So what do you think about the Texas Rangers trade moves? Is there someone you think that should be traded? And anybody in particular you think we should trade for? And with that, we dive into our next topic. Wyatt Langford's roller coaster year paints a puzzling picture for the Rangers' future. Wyatt Langford dropping to the Rangers with the 4th pick of the 2023 MLB draft was viewed as one of the biggest steals. The strong, athletic, fast outfielder from the University of Florida flourished in his junior season, leading to him being one of the top scouting prospects. The former Gator didn't miss a step after debuting in the Rangers organization. In just 47 minor league games, not only did he hit .351, .469, .649, and .118, but he also convinced the Rangers front office that he was ready. Chris Young in the front office responded to his success by giving him a spot on the opening day roster for the defending champions, where he recorded hits in each of his first 3 games and looked like he was a mainstay. Later that same month, he added even more electricity by hitting his first career home run on the inside the park variety. However, despite all that, Langford's first month plus in the big leagues did not go well. He had a weak .628 OPS in his first month, and followed that up with a .286 OPS in just 6 May games before going down with an injury. He returned in late May and looked like a completely new player. During the month of June, Langford clubbed 4 homers while maintaining a .309 batting average and a strong .894 OPS. He looked like he had gained his swagger back and was finally hitting the ball with some authority. But the roller coaster season continued on. Since July 8th and up until this week, Langford has just hit 6 hits over his last 43 at-bats. That also includes a stretch where he was 0 for 27. Why has this continued to happen? Well, it's worth noting that it's very rare for a rookie to come up and have instant success. It's hard to think of many players who have debuted and never looked back after an incredible start to their careers. Basically, any player not named Mike Trout had at least some growing pains when entering the league. That being said, Langford will have major success at the big league level throughout his hopefully long career. The talent is simply too rare, and we have already seen flashes of him being incredible. Ranger fans just need to be patient, and there is no doubt in my mind he will deliver over the next 5 years. And now we're going to make some 3 bold predictions for the Rangers going into this second half of the season. The Rangers are coming off an underwhelming and somewhat disappointing first half of the season. While many fans were expecting the Rangers to once again be near the top of the AL, instead the team has struggled mightily to win games at a consistent level and was sitting at 3rd in the AL West, 4 games under .500 at the break. While the Rangers have had a lackluster start to the season, there is still a lot of baseball to be played, and the Rangers' schedule is a little easier in the second half of the season than it was the first half. A little over half of the Rangers series throughout the second half of the season will be against opponents who currently hold records below .500. With the second half now underway, these 3 bold predictions could hint at how the second half will play out for the Rangers and whether or not we'll see improvement. Starting off with, the Rangers will finish the season above .500. For the majority of the first half of the season, the Rangers have remained under .500, which is somewhat shocking due to how competitive they were throughout all of last summer. While the Rangers have not had the start to the season that fans were expecting, the team have recently been showing signs that they are starting to turn things around and are beginning to resemble last year's team. With slugger Josh Young nearing his return to the field and the bats starting to come alive over the past few weeks, it appears that the Rangers are due to have a more successful second half of the season compared to their first half. The Rangers will have to face several tough opponents throughout the second half, including the Baltimore Orioles and 2 series with the New York Yankees, the team that had arguably the most dominant first half of the season in the AL. Luckily, the Rangers will also face several of the weakest teams in baseball, including the Chicago White Sox, Oakland Athletics, and several other teams that have had disappointing first halves to the season. Due to the Rangers' favorable second half schedule, the team should be able to move past 500 and finish above that marker for the second year in a row. Next, the Rangers will not win the division. Although the Rangers have been showing signs of turning things around lately, they spent the first half digging themselves into a deep hole in the division, and it will be quite a challenge for them to win the AL West, something the team has not been able to do since 2016. Due to the Mariners having such a hot start to this season, they currently hold a commanding 5-game lead over the Rangers, along with a narrow 1-game lead over the Astros, a team that's posted a remarkable past month of baseball after a lackluster first few months of the season. While it's too early to count the Rangers out of the division this season, it will be a daunting task for the team to get past both the Mariners and Astros, and so far the Rangers have not appeared to be up to that kind of challenge. While a run for the division similar to the run they went on last year would be joyful, this year appears to be unfortunately different, as the Rangers have been dealt several bad hands. A multitude of their roster is dealing with a myriad of injuries, and several Rangers are underperforming greatly compared to last season. And finally, the Rangers will not make the playoffs. While the Rangers have shown signs of improvement this past month, the team still does not appear consistent enough to be playing baseball this fall. One of the biggest obstacles standing in the Rangers' way of returning to the postseason is how competitive the American League is this year. Currently, 9 out of the 15 AL teams have a record of 500 or better. Due to the competitive nature of the AL, it will be extraordinarily tough for the Rangers to clinch a playoff spot, especially with the team still remaining somewhat discombobulated. Overall, as disappointing as it is, this will most likely be an unremarkable year for the Rangers. While we are just a few days away from the trade deadline and the team still has the potential to shake things up, the odds of the Rangers having a finish similar to last year are quite low. And now on to our next topic. The Rangers' trade for Max Scherzer is starting to look more and more like a colossal blunder. Last summer, the Rangers acquired Max Scherzer from the Mets, but they haven't been able to bear the fruits of the deal thus far. The defending World Series champion Texas Rangers haven't exactly had a successful 2024 season. In a year where they were set to defend their title, things haven't gone according to plan. After opening the second half with a series loss to the Orioles, the Rangers found themselves at 47-52, 5 games back of first place and 7.5 back in the wildcard race. Texas made a key move last year at the deadline, acquiring right-hander Max Scherzer from the New York Mets. The hope was that Scherzer would bolster the rotation, but he's been dealt with multiple injuries already and had a tough outing against Baltimore in their game. Scherzer allowed 4 runs in just 2 innings of work and complained about arm fatigue in his post-game interview. While Scherzer's competitive spirit is hard to match, the 39-year-old right-hander hasn't exactly been able to stay healthy. Saturday was his 6th start back from the injured list, and things already appear to be going downhill. Texas gave up top prospect Luis Angel Acuna, the brother of Ronald Acuna Jr., in the deal, while the Mets paid down a good portion of Scherzer's salary. But with Scherzer now struggling to produce, as well as stay healthy, the deal is looking like a mistake on the Rangers' part, and this is the last thing Texas needs right now, especially when they're trying to salvage the 2024 season. Some might argue that it doesn't matter because Texas won a title and has a stacked farm system, but Scherzer didn't contribute to the team's championship run. Additionally, the Rangers' farm system has taken a bit of a hit due to a lot of recent promotions. The former Cy Young Award winner is 1-3 with a 3.99 ERA in his 6 starts this year, and his inability to stay on the field is killing the Rangers as they try to figure out how they'll handle the trade deadline. Scherzer was limited last year during the run to the World Series and missed most of the first half with arm troubles. The arm fatigue he felt during his match against the Orioles certainly is a bad sign going forward because it's more of the same and is compounding with other issues. If the Rangers are going to salvage their season, they're probably going to need Scherzer close to his peak powers because of the limited trade deadline targets, as well as the longer-term injuries the team is dealing with in the rotation. Fans are just hoping Acuna doesn't turn into an all-star because that would really cement the conversation. And now on to our next topic. Rays trade candidates emerge, with Texas potentially in buy mode. It has been a very tumultuous season for the Texas Rangers, and until recently, it looked like they were on course to even sell at the trade deadline. With so many injuries throughout the first half of 2024 on both sides of the ball, Texas simply had never been able to put together a sustained run of success and found themselves well out of a playoff spot for a long time. However, things have changed for the better. The team still has a bunch of guys hurt, but the defending World Series champs have slowly made progress in getting healthier and now find themselves winners of 7 of their last 10 games. With the Mariners crashing and burning lately and the Astros treading water, the AL West looks like a very winnable division right now. The Rangers don't appear to be willing to waste the opportunity and have shifted to being buyers at the deadline. While they are certainly checking in on a number of trade targets right now, a pair of Rays bats currently have their intention. Yandy Diaz and Isaac Paredes. With Evan Carter's back continuing to give him trouble and Josh Young rehabbing his broken wrist, the Rangers seem to be prioritizing offense for the moment. Tampa has emerged as one of the early aggressive sellers at the deadline after making a pair of deals on Friday, and Texas has been in contact on a couple interesting names on the Rays roster. Isaac Paredes is on many teams' wish lists right now given his offensive track record and defensive versatility, but Texas seemingly wants Paredes mostly for his bat to potentially DH while providing them with some positional depth. Yandy Diaz is also in play for the Rangers as a platoon bat that absolutely mashes lefties now that he has been activated from the restricted list. Both players have multiple years of team control, so acquiring either would require a real investment in terms of prospects. However, Tampa is clearly open for business and appears to be strangely reasonable in their demands in this seller's market. While the two Rays have their warts as players, either one should give the Rangers a much-needed offensive boost for the stretch run. And with that, we wrap up today's episode. We'd like to thank you so much for watching and listening. Your thoughts on the topics we covered in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TTRangers. Your financial support goes right back into this channel so we can upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. We'd love to be able to stream from Globe Life Field or away games, and your support can help make that happen. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.